With the release of Pokemon Sword and Shield right around the corner, there's only so many things you can do to get just a little bit of a taste of Pokemon Sword and Shield. If you're like me, you can distract yourself by buying a Score Bunny plush, or the next logical step, a Nintendo Switch Lite with Zacian and Zamazenta on the back. Let's get into it. This Nintendo Switch Lite, it looks kind of plain on the front, at least from the pictures. It has Zacian's color on this side, and then Zamazenta's color on this side for the analog stick and the D-pad. But on the back, that's where you can tell what it actually is. You can tell that it has the decals right there of, I think, Zacian and Zamazenta. So, without further ado, we're going to open this box. Here we go. I always am afraid that I'm going to open this the wrong way, because in the past, I guess they've figured out how to box things nowadays, but I feel like when I bought some older Nintendo DS's back in the day, I would open it the wrong way and the DS would just fall out onto the ground or the desk. Usually it was the ground though. Alright, so here is the Nintendo Switch Lite. Can't really tell yet, but it does have the decals on the back. Trust me. So, with the Nintendo Switch Lite, you obviously don't get a dock. You just get the power brick, and then you get the console. The Nintendo Switch Lite, I'm pretty sure that there's no way to dock it anyway, so obviously there's no dock. And even if you did have a dock, you can't detach the Joy-Cons, so it would be 100% pointless. It would just be for charging your Switch, which this power brick does a good enough job. So here is the unsmudged screen, and here is the decal. It looks very, very faint, like it barely shows up on camera. I guess when I put my face here, it shows up better. But honestly, if you're just playing it like this, like normally, probably people are not going to notice that this is the Sword and Shield version of the Nintendo Switch. They could have done this better. They could have made it like a crimson red, and then the buttons blue or something along those lines. But it looks a lot like the gray Nintendo Switch Lite that came out a couple months ago. I actually have a box of it. It's kind of a darker gray, if you can see it, but still to the average person, this does not look different from that. So that's one of my issues with it. But overall, it seems fully functional. I actually have been a little bit spoiled because I've been exposed to the Nintendo Switch Lite before. My younger brother has one, that's why I have the box right there. But yeah, the Nintendo Switch Lite, it's significantly lighter, like no pun intended, but it legitimately is a good bit lighter than the Nintendo Switch. So now I have my Nintendo Switch and my Nintendo Switch Lite, but the Nintendo Switch is probably a good third bigger. Maybe less than a third, but it's a good bit bigger than the actual Nintendo Switch Lite. I feel like the best comparison would be the tablet part of the Nintendo Switch. That is slightly smaller than this entire Nintendo Switch Lite console. If you can tell, it's not that much bigger than the actual tablet. It's geared more towards people, I guess, that are intimidated by the size of the Nintendo Switch, because you can't really fit this in your pocket unless you have really deep pockets. Especially if you're a whammon like I am, you're not able to really fit these in your pocket because whammon have small pockets, unfortunately. Nintendo Switch Lite, the buttons on it, they feel a little bit more mushy, and that sounds like it's a bad thing, but it really is not. The original Nintendo Switch, or this is actually the new one, but anyway, it doesn't matter. This one is a lot more clicky. You get more of that actual clicking sound if you can hear it. For the Nintendo Switch Lite, you still hear yourself mashing the button. It's a lot more mushy button mashing. So one of the main reasons I got this was, for one, I feel like, it'll be a collector's item. It may be worth more later on. But other than that, I pre-ordered the double pack for Pokemon Sword and Shield, so I'll have both copies of the games. But I'll play one on the go, probably on the Nintendo Switch Lite, and then the other will be on my regular Nintendo Switch, the big beefy boy that can hook up to a dock so that I can stream from it. But I'll probably be streaming Pokemon Sword, and then I'll be playing Shield when I'm away from my computer. Anyway, I'll be picking up Pokemon Sword and Shield on the midnight launch date. I probably will stream for at least a couple hours after I get it, but the schedule outside of that is not really known. So I'll go through that later on with you guys. But let me know in the comments section, are you going to get the Nintendo Switch Lite with the very faintly engraved Zamazenta and Zacian on the back and the multicolored controls? Or are you guys going to have a hard pass on this? Have you already gotten the Nintendo Switch Lite and now you're mad that this came out? Let me know in the comments section below, and I'll see you guys in the next video or live stream.